Hey guys, welcome to a special video I'm doing. It's called Let's Build Something, and we're going to build a patch for the ASM Hydrasynth. Forgive me, my voice is a little lower than usual because I don't have coronavirus, but my son and my wife, well, both my sons and my wife were down with a nice little sinus infection, and they've passed it along to me. So I'm the last one to get it, but it lasts for about 2 days apparently, and I just end up sounding like a lumberjack for a little while. So this is the tail end of it. Otherwise, things are going well here. Just trying to think of what's next. So I figured I'd bring you guys in on this video, and I'm already working on the second patch collection for the Hydrasynth, and I'm figuring why not just have you guys watch and see if we make something fun or cool or anything. It could be a complete disaster, but if it's a disaster, I'll at least explain why and what I learned and what we learned together. So I think just much like the original, we're going to start from super scratch, right? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into voice, turn on random phase. I'm going to go down one, and I'm going to turn off vibrato amount. So when I move the mod wheel over there, nothing happens. I'm also going to turn off the ribbon. So I'm going to touch the ribbon button off to the left. And then I'm going to turn that to mod only. I'm pretty sure you guys can see that screen fairly well, but let's get just a little bit closer in case you can't. There we go. Hopefully that'll be good enough, right? So let's talk about waveforms for a second. Whoopsies. All right, we're going to go to wave scan. And one thing I like to do, some of the time it's earlier on, other times it's way later after the patch already has a bunch of mod routings, and then I start thinking, oh, what's going to go good with what? Right now, I'm not going to stick with saw. I think I'm going to go with something a little bit more interesting. Or maybe we'll stick with saw right there, but then we'll start, let's start here. First thing I want to think of usually is what kind of, are we designing a pad? Are we designing a pluck? Are we designing a sequence or a bass? And this thing is pretty nasty at bass, and I've been doing a lot of that. So I'm thinking we might start out with that in mind, and then maybe we'll change it to a pad or a pluck or a key if we decide to go that route. I've been liking those harmonies. Actually, let's go. Horizon's such a good one. I'm going to move past Horizon into the Bellevue now. Okay, so one thing I look at is how complex the waveform is, because I'm thinking to myself, if I'm going to use FM at all, this is very difficult to use with FM. It can sound pretty cool, but it's really most of the time going to sound like distortion. So FM typically works with a little bit more of a simpler waveform. All right. Okay, that's oscillator 1. I don't know if we're going to do a stereo patch yet. I'm going to do a test first. This is how I kind of discover new fun things. We're going to keep that at saw. I'm going to go into mutant 3, and I'm going to turn that source to oscillator 1. Oops, wrong one. All right, depth down, dry wet up. Let's get the feedback up a little bit. We're going to go into mixer and turn up oscillator 2 and turn down oscillator 1. This is probably the time I should think about raising the volume. That might be better. So, actually, no, we're not doing anything with this one yet. Well, yeah, that's pretty neat. That's very neat. It's very interesting. Now let's put some wave stack on that, on mutant 4. let's see how that sounds when we adjust the FM. Okay, I think we got something here. So maybe let's save, and I'll just call this meanie, like a mean bass or a mean ripping lead. M-E-A, oh, sorry, blind as a bat. Mean. Let's call it Mean Machine. Maybe we'll turn this into a sequence, just because it has, you know, if you're done with pretty much the original vision, right, and you've only used one envelope and, you know, whatever it is, a couple and one or two LFOs, and you got a bunch of extra shit to work with. So that's really why there's a lot of sequences in the Ignition patch bank. It's because there's so much shit to do when I'm done with the original vision. I'm like, okay, let's make it into something more. And the ones that I didn't want to make it into something more are the ones with very little macros and very little additional modulation and, you know, that kind of stuff. And I try to keep a fine balance between the complex ones and the very simple ones that you can kind of build off of. So there's some insider information for you. All right, let's just call it Mean M for now, because I don't want to waste time making letters. And this is going to be a bass. All right, hit save. Let's make it a different color. Oops. Green, or greenish. Weird. That shows up as green on my end. That's showing up as white over on your end. That's very strange. Oh well. All right, what's next? What do I want to do from here? I want to lower the microphone for starters and get closer. I really don't want to have to edit this. I want to just post this straight to YouTube without having to do much fucking editing, because editing's a pain in the ass. Yeah, I have to keep reminding myself whenever I make a bass patch that you really don't need the you know, the oscillator panning left and right, you know, that ability. And that was kind of like the signature of the Ignition thing. The Ignition patch bank was having that feature, and, you know, it really spreads out the image, but there's really not much use for that on a bass. Let's figure out our filter. I always like something with a little bit more personality than the ladders, but we'll try it anyways. Yeah, we're gonna have to go with something like the LP3. Okay, so now we have to ask ourselves, is this going to be something I make manually? You know, I move manually with the mod wheel, or is it going to be something that I move with one of the envelopes? And really, it's going to be subjective at this point. So I think I'm going to make it something to move with envelope 3. So envelope 3 is going to modulate mutant 1. It's going to be the depth. Well, of course, we're going to have to go back into envelope 1 and configure our filter envelope. Turn up our thing up here. Oh man, you guys can't see that. There we go. Better. Sorry about the camera angle. I think I'm going to turn on the mics a little bit better. Oops, you know what? It's not Mutator 1. What am I thinking? It's Mutator 3. We're going to hear a huge difference here. Oh, maybe not. What the fuck? Envelope 3 is probably... It's very odd. Oh, that's because it's... God damn it. Why the hell? Oh, I must have hit the LFO button. Okay, that's fucking obnoxious. Something is... Yeah, look at that. I hate that these buttons up here don't fucking work when you're in a menu. God damn, it's frustrating. I mean, it's saved my ass. Don't mark my words. It's saved my ass before, too. So I think what they did that, it was intentional. I think in the midst of patch building when they were in development, I think ASM was like, fuck, we need to turn these fucking things off so they don't get fucked with when we're in a menu doing something else. Maybe that was the logic, because I have bumped these or tweaked these and not meant to, and ended up saving a lot of patches, saving the essence of them without screwing with these too much. But then, you forget, and then you're like, oh, I want to adjust this. Nothing's working. All right, what the fuck is going on? There's still a fucking LFO going on somewhere. Oh my god, fucking damn it. Oh my god. This is what happens when you stop sound design on the goddamn Hydrasynth for 5 days to try and recuperate. Thank you. Fuck. It only took like 18 fucking tries. The struggle is real, people. Now we're going to do some damage. Alright, just tried a bunch of different options. So what's going on is oscillator 1 is mutating, well, part of oscillator 1 is mutating the one that we can hear from the mixer, which is oscillator 2. Oscillator 2 is set to saw wave, and we're having mutant 3 get modulated by envelope 3. Envelope 3 is doing a shape, and we're following that shape in a set path of time. And we got a high depth. I I think we should set Mutant 3 to have a little bit of depth from the get-go. I also think we should increase the depth. And I think we should increase the attack speed. I think we should lower the depth. And I think we should add an LFO to do the rest. Let's turn this into a saw wave. LFO 3 is really not doing too well, is it? Oh, there we go. What if we moved the waveform? Yeah, I forgot about that. Let's assign that to the mod wheel for now and see how that works. Curious to see what it'll do. Where is it? mod wheel, oscillator 1, wave scan. Let's go up to about 20. I think that'll be the other. That'll be just at step 2. We're going to need to keep oscillator 3 from going back down. Oh yeah, we're going to have to have envelope 3 doing that same thing, I think. There we go. You guys can probably hear all the clickety and clacketing. My apologies. Nice. Okay, so we changed envelope 4 to go from being wave scan, and now it's on oscillator sync mode with its own oscillator modulating it. Let's add some drive, which is up here. So what I'm doing is I'm taking envelope 4, it's modulating mutant 4, right? So the shape I was just playing around with. We want to make sure the depth ends up somewhere with a harmony that sounds pleasing, right? And then we can determine that by going into envelope 4. Well, 2 ways to determine that. One is going to depend on this. So keep it simple. Make envelope 4 just peak out with a constant sustain, right? And then you're going to use that. Once you have that shape, then you can go in here and adjust the depth and just listen. And then once the envelope has run its course, you just keep holding the note and adjust your value to a point where you think it's going to sound cool. Now, when we're done with this, what we're going to do is we're going to use either polyphonic aftertouch. Actually, no. We're going to use the mod wheel over here to shorten the attack time. So we'll have 2 different modes of playing, one for staccato and one for long epic holds. So we're going to do a 5th. Or a major 3rd. This is always epic. There's another thing we could do later on. And see, I'm already got ideas coming through my head. We can have the ribbon controller, or for you, desktop guys, just use a expression pedal. We'll have that adjust how much this goes. Maybe we'll start it at major third. Actually, just an octave, right? And then we'll go from there, and we'll have this bring it all the way up to, like even higher, or maybe a major fifth, or not a major fifth, you know what I mean? An octave up and a fifth. Let's do that right now. Why the hell not, right? So ribbon controller. We're going to do absolute. And we're going to go source is number 2. Oh, shit. There we go. Absolute. Source is mod matrix depth of, the parameter 2. All right, let's get our mod wheel to move the attack of envelope 4 and envelope 3 to be shorter. Mod wheel and envelope 3, and we're going to have the attack get shorter. Actually, envelope 4, sorry. I'm going to jump up an octave, so I'm playing with my thumb down here by the mod wheel. Let's have it 1, 2, 3. We'll have it count 3 beats. So let's make sure we're in the right tempo here. 1, 2, 3. Well, it's a little longer than 3 counts, but whatever. We could also just sync it, but I don't really like doing that. A little less control if we actually put BPM sync on. I don't want to do that. Now we're going back and we're going to fine tune envelope 3. We're going to fine tune the depth of envelope 3 on the wave scan as well as the mutator. The higher envelope 3 goes to the mutator 3. The more distortion and kind of craziness we're going to get, because that's FM. And the wave scan, of course, I mean, it's kind of set in stone. If we want to add more wave, what do you call it? Wavetables. Layers, we can go up from here. Oopsies, I keep going to oscillator 1, sorry. Oh, right, I got a solo. Shit, this is the tricky part. You got to turn back on oscillator 1 if you want to go fuck with the waveform, since oscillator 1 is the one modulating oscillator too. So, yeah, can't hear it at all. I'll keep that off, I guess, then. No, we could keep it even and just have envelope 4 doing all the work. We're getting there. This is some crunchy stuff. I haven't even been drinking, and usually it's I'll start to like the kind of bro steppy sound when I've been drinking. A little bit of headbanging. It's kind of like electro headbanging. Like the new version of hard rock, I guess, for our generation or whatever generation you are. I grew up when it was alternative rock. I think everybody in my fucking grade owned the CD Dookie by Green Day. Okay, so we've got something that's kind of functional. At this point, we can stylize it. So I think we're going to figure out what kind of effects we want to go with. I mean, just even that in itself is pretty simple. Oh, the filter, right. Envelope 1. We can, oh shit. Envelope 4. Oopsies, there we go. Okay, I got an idea. We're gonna queue up we're gonna have LFO3 doing some work here. Poly after touch. Oh, first of all, let's start with this. LFO3 filter 1. Damn it, I hate when it does that. I'm just gonna have to do it manually. LFO3. Here's a suggestion. I wish if whatever page you were last on, it would automatically fill if there was open spots when you just do that shortcut LFO3 filter 1. But I had to select that to actually get it to happen before it tried to fill that one. Okay, so. Add a little bit of LFO2 to the filter as well. That way it gives us an idea of our tempo, and we're probably going to change that later. All right, so let's have the poly aftertouch control source 7. Fuck me, damn it. We're going to have poly aftertouch actually lift the filter. Actually, no, we're going to just have the filter up. better idea. There we go. Now we have ultimate control. I'm going to do absolute ribbon 2, source 8. So not only are we going to have to press on it, but we're also going to have to drag our finger across the ribbon. Sorry, guys, on the desktop. But there are ways around this too. You could do the same thing with the mod wheel. Except we have something programmed to the mod wheel already, so we could do expression pedal. For this one, we're going to do the ribbon. Because I'm sure ASM likes to sell keyboards just as much as they sell desktops. Oh, depth. Oops. Depth. Select 7. Oh, I'm sorry. 8. Another idea. Ribbon controller. LFO 3 rate. We're going to have to do absolute. Just that. Yeah, whatever. You know what I would more likely to be using this for in my music? Stingers, right? Let's fucking do it. Let's make this, oopsies, let's make this delay turn into a long one, right? We're going to do BPM sync. We're going to make it a nice long delay. Let's get that reverb up. Let's get that cloud tone all the way down. High dampening all the way up. Low damp just a little bit up because we don't want it to bog down and too much. Pretty slick. Let's turn off that chorus though. Oh, that's pretty neat. So it kind of looks like it's like pauses in time, right? When you're holding it down, then probably doing that up here, but whatever. There you go. All right. There we go. A little bit better. You don't really have to see the text at this point. That's pretty neat, right? So The reason that is happening is because of the release. Let's turn off the release and see how the effect is. Learn something here. All of them except for envelope 2. There's that, right? And then let's turn up the release of envelope 1. So basically our FM and our mutators in general are not going to have any kind of tail. It sounds like shit, doesn't it? It just kind of sounds like metallic. Kind of just fizzles off, right? Buzzes off. Like I said, when you turn up the release. Yeah. I think this is going to have more of a... I think it's going to sound better if we get rid of the LFO and this ribbon. I think the ribbons should do what it's best at, which is smooth slides. And so we're going to have it doing that, but we're not going to have it... we're going to have it doing this sync, but not the LFO. So let's get rid of that. Depth 8. No, we don't want that. At this point, I'm turning down reverb. I know it's at 77, and I'm turning down delay. Well, delay's already down. We just decided to go with reverb. I'm going to make a macro. We're going to call it space. Or we'll call it deep space. Oh, let's call it, no, see, we don't get enough letters to make clever shit. Fuck it, we're calling it bacon. Alright, let's just make bacon. There we go. Bacon will turn on reverb. Dry wet. Turn on. Let's have Poly Aftertouch do some more drastic shit, right? Let's have Poly Aftertouch do, whoopsie, it's too far. Let's have that fuck with Mutant 4's depth too. How about feedback? Call this macro release dir. my aftertouch, we're going to bring in mixer. We're going to bring in the ring. I take it back. We're going to have Mod Wheel bring in. We're going to have Mod Wheel bring that in. We're going to have aftertouch do ring modulator depth. There we go. Should see me using the mod wheel for this. I can't get this fucking thing to... There we go. That's probably as good as we'll get it. There. Pretty close, huh? Oh, we don't... Oh, no. We don't want the novation in the shot. Oh, crap. Hold on. Summit over there. There. Keep it like that for now. Oh shit, there's my notes from work. Do that. I think the ribbon could do some more work. I think. Okay, let's have the ribbon bring in. Let's have it bring in oscillator 1. Right? Well, first of all, let's exit and hit save, right? All right, so what were we doing? Ribbon, oscillator 1. Oh, right. We're doing mixer, sorry. Oscillator 1 volume. Is it bringing it in? Only one way to find out, really. It's very strange, isn't it? The way it sounds. Wonder why that is. See how oscillator 3 sounds. Oopsies. We're still running a saw. got a great fucking idea. That Synclav. Sounds Russian. Synclav is going to be a fucking sequence. We're going to sequence oscillator 3. That's been kind of a thing of mine to make some of those industrial patches, but I think it could do well. So we got to wonder how I want it smooth as far as the notes go, or transitions go. So we got to make sure we're nailing the okay, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to set up LFO5 as the plus. And that's going to trigger oscillator 3's waves shifting. We're going to shift waves, right? Let's go up about maybe that much, and let's see how far that travels. So I got that at 10.5, right? LFO5 plus, modulating oscillator 3's wave, selection. It's not the wave table per se. It is the wave table, but it's not the smooth transition. Oscillator 3 doesn't have that feature, remember? So all we're doing is really just notching to different waveforms in sequential order. So, but we liked those in sequential order. Let's go back, remember? Well, it's already doing it since we since we selected it. So I think what we should probably do is make this a macro immediately. So we have the option of turning it on and off. So that's source 13. Let's turn this one on. Let's call it beef, right? Because we're just going to have fun today, and we're not actually titling them by any means in any accurate fashion to what they actually do. So we're going to have bacon beef, and maybe we'll have maybe we'll make a custom one like shit, or I don't know, the itis. Where were we? All right, mod matrix depth 13, I believe. All right, 13. We're going to put that on. Well, let's put that as high as we need. No, we're going to start at whatever it was, 10, right? And we're going to see where that gets us for the top of LFO5. How are we going to do that, you say? Well, we're going to go to, whoopsies. We're going to go to wave. Oh, shit. You should probably come over here for this. There we go. Okay. Hold up. Oh, God. I don't want the light. No, I don't want light. There we go. Okay. There. That's a good view. All right. Backtrack here. Mod matrix. This is what we did. LFO5 to oscillator 3's wave. All right. Here's the other page in case you needed it. All right. Here's this. That's page 8 and 9. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Right? So you can pause the video if you need to and catch up at this point. All right. So here we are. LFO5, oscillator 3. We're going to make a little pattern, an optional pattern, right? First we got to go in and turn the damn beef thing up. Right? Okay. So we got that. Now we're going to go into LFO5 right over here. And we're going to turn that all the way to step. Right? Trigger sync is going to be on poly for now. And we're going to sync it on BPM. Let's do quarter notes for now. It's not going to be quarter notes. Most definitely not. But quarter notes is easy. Here's how you can get them accurate. You're just going to work with step 1 for now. Right? Get them all turned down. You're going to figure out the highest step and what wave that goes to. Because it's not going to tell you really. I can already tell we're way too high, right? Let's go back in here. Oopsies. Go back into our beef macro and turn that way down to like 3.8. Let's try that, right? Back in LFO5, go down into step edit. Okay, that's getting there. So where am I? We basically just have to have one. Our beef, well, basically, remember, we're on the mod matrix. We're working with this, but we're working through the macro because it's going to be adjustable, right? Just get this to like 1.5. That's even that probably is too much. I'm going back to LFO5, step edit. Okay, so, and this is something we probably could have done from the beginning, is just turn it up the value all the way to the highest, and then going back to beef, our macro, and going. 2 or 2. Right. Here's another thing we could do. We could actually, instead of synclav, we could go all the way up to a harmony. Or any of these, really. Probably go back to LFO1 and turn this down all the way. Oops. We'll actually know what step we're fucking with. Alright, let's go make a sequence. I decided to go with something different. Oscillator 3 is now duotone, and it's going to jump probably all the way up to this. Duotone 6. Yeah. Oops, now we're going to go back and turn this into eighth notes. And now we have oscillator 3 turned on permanently, right? So we're always hearing that. Right? We're going to turn it back down to 0. We're going to turn off solo. And we're going to turn on, we're going to have, let's have LFO4 do some work. And I'm going to make sure LFO4 is not still in here. It is, and it's doing nothing. Okay. LFO4 is going to be our, LFO4 is going to be our, it's going to bring in oscillator 3. Okay, I've just been informed a superhero movie will be airing in the living room, so I will be departing for that very shortly, but we're going to finish the thing we set out to do, which is make LFO4 modulate, or bring in the volume of oscillator 3. Now, let's see, that's eighth notes. It'd be a pretty short sequence. Shit. LFO. Okay, so then. to program LFO5 to do its job. Oh, that almost sounds like a drum and bass, breakbeat right there. That's me doing the poly aftertouch. Okay, I think we're gonna have to wrap it up for now. And let's do a part 2 to this. Let's go even further. One more thing. We'll just do LFO3 to Newton 3's depth. Maybe something else. That's definitely not good. Yeah, we don't want to fuck with that too much. Yeah, fuck that. All right, let's review here. LFO3. That should not be happening. Yeah, no, I don't want that happening. There we go. Smoother. And mixer. One more thing. That is shit. See here, this is why I can't stop sometimes. Try wet. Remember, mutator 3 currently is mutator 4. Sorry. Here we go. Now it's going to go up. Turn it a little bit down so it maybe goes close to 100. Let's call it quits there, and we'll make some, maybe we'll make some nuttier shit in a round 2. But for now, I think.